Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we have a different setup today. The lighting is no good, the sound is awful, but remember, we're doing these fast and furious because I want to get you the information you need quickly so you can respond to this new environment that we are having to face. So as you know, we're having to take our classes online, which means we need to figure out how we're going to deliver online lectures. So the way I'm going to kind of run the next few videos is we are going to divide this into 3 sections. We're going to start with low-tech options, standard tech options, and then high-tech options. Here's the thing. We have many options in terms of delivering online lectures. There's, infinite possibilities. But that means that we can be spoiled for choice and face the paradox of choice. Where do we start? It's overwhelming. So by starting with low-tech options, we can look at things that we can deliver right now, very quickly, very easily, with no further investment than a computer with a microphone and a camera and connectivity. Now, that doesn't mean that these are poor options. Low-tech options done well can be highly effective. So let's jump into low-tech options today, and then in the future videos we'll talk about standard tech and then high-tech. Now in this low-tech episode, I'm going to look at 3 options. I'm going to look at recording a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to look at recording an audio file, and then finally I'm going to look at leveraging existing material. Now let's break these down a little bit. First, let's take a look at what I mean by recording a PowerPoint presentation. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at how to record a PowerPoint presentation slideshow. First of all, I'm going to open my PowerPoint presentation right here. And as you see, we have the instructions. So what we do is we open our presentation, just did that. Select the slideshow tab right up here. So I'm going to select the slideshow tab right there at the top menu. And then we see the record slideshow button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And as it says here, I want to make sure that both of these boxes are checked. It just gives me full functionality. And then we go ahead and hit start recording. So take a look at what this does. All right, so boom, right away I see my full presentation, right? Just as though I'm delivering it on a screen. We notice a few things. We've got this thingamajigger up here that allows us to pause or move forward to the next slide, although the arrow buttons do that as well. Repeat in case you say tomato versus tomato and you want to redo that particular slide, and then your counter. But then watch this. Down here we have some cool tools. So we've got a laser pointer, which I'll go ahead and select, and now we can see where things are. We also have a pen, so I can underline things, and of course I can change the color of that underline, right? And then I also have a highlighter, so we can highlight certain things. And then, of course, I have an eraser so I can, erase all that. All right. So I'll come back over here to the laser pointer just because I think that's cool. Now I'm going to tab to the next slide. And here we're going to talk about a few considerations. Of course, since you are recording with your voice, you want to make sure your microphone is set up. To do that, you're going to go down to the bottom right hand of your screen. I'll actually show you how to do this. And right click on your speaker icon, open sound settings, and do your input device. Now I'll show you how to do that here in a moment, but then check this out. So I'm all done, right? I'm all set. And so I'm just going to hit the next page. And it's going to talk about how to save the slideshow. I'm going to show you how to do this. I go to File, Save As, and Save As type PowerPoint Show. Okay, now I'm going to hit the next slide. And whoa, hold on, it's just disappeared, right? Where the heck did it go? Well, hold on. Remember, I said what we want to do now is we want to go to File, Save As, and then Save As type PowerPoint Show. All right, so I'm going to go to File, Save As. I'm going to put it on my desktop just for this. Now normally I'd save it as a PowerPoint presentation. Not this time. I want to save it as a PowerPoint show. So I go ahead and click that. And then I've got that on my desktop. So I hit save. Okay. And eventually, there it is. It's right there. So let's see how this works. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and you can see what happens. All right. So boom, right away, I see my full presentation. You see that? You hear that? On a screen. Are you annoyed yet? A few things. We've got this thing. Okay, I just escaped out of that so that we could save ourselves from that hell, which is my voice times 2. The point is, though, all you need to do, you've now got a presentation, and it will go through the slides on its own. All the student needs to do is open that presentation, and it will take the student right through the whole thing. Now, I promised to show you this thing about selecting your microphone. We're going to come down here to the speakers icon. I'm going to right-click on it, go to Open Sound Settings. That's going to bring up this dialog box. And my input device right now is my microphone. As you see, I have a couple of microphones, so I make sure I have the correct one set. And then you know it's working because you see this little dibbly-doo or whatever, pounding away. So that way you know that you're all set and that you're good to go. Now, in addition to this really quick tutorial, down in the description, I have, no, not that, I have this. This is the official Microsoft website where it has a presentation that goes into a little bit more detail on what I just did, as well as, the steps and so forth. So if you're interested in looking at that, you are fully welcome to, of course. So the point is, that's pretty quick and dirty, very easy, and yet at the end of the day, you get yourself a nice, recorded slideshow. All right, so there's our PowerPoint presentation. But now, what if you don't have a PowerPoint presentation? What if you normally just stand in front of the classroom and just audio this stuff? Well, you have a couple options. You can still record a PowerPoint presentation and just write on the PowerPoint the things that you would normally write on the whiteboard. Or if you don't even use a whiteboard and you just kind of talk through material while students flip through the pages or look at the textbook on their own, you can record an audio file, basically your lecture in audio. So let's take a look at how to do that. Okay, so let's take a look at how to record an audio file, basically your poor man's podcast, if you will. Now, most of us don't have voice recorder all set up on their desktop or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to search, and I'm going to type in voice, and it's immediately going to give me right here voice recorder, the voice recorder app. So I go ahead and click on that. And this is all you see, and this is all you need. So this is our voice recorder. So I'm just going to go ahead and click right here. And I am now recording. You can see that this bad boy is bouncing up and down, so I know it's working. I've got the counter going. Of course, as we did with our PowerPoint presentation recording, we've got our sound set up properly in terms of the microphone, so we're all good to go there. So, all right, I'm all done. What do I do now? Well, I hit stop. And now it's like, okay, well, where's the file? Well, here's the recording, right? But where's the actual file? Well, what you can do is you can right-click on the recording and open File Location. And it takes you to where your file is. Now, most of the time it's going to be in documents, sound recordings, right? But I want to work with it on my desktop, so I'm going to drag it on over there. Okay. Now, I don't really need this anymore, so I'm going to close that out. But now here is my wave file, my audio file of my podcast, if you will. So let's double click and see what happens. And I am now recording. You can see that this bad. Et voilà, il marche très bien. Yeah, once again, we don't need to hear my voice, pummeling your ears so much, but you get the idea. Pretty darn simple. Okay, there you go, your poor man's podcast. Okay, the third option I want to explore is leveraging existing material. Now, we might be relatively new to teaching online, but trust me, there are a lot of people out there who have been teaching online a long time, and we can take advantage of material that they already have. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a professor as well, so I know that we all like to think we bring our own special sauce to the table, and so the way we lecture is incomparable to how somebody else lectures. I get that. I kind of buy into that myself. However, we also need to kind of settle down and not take ourselves so seriously and realize there's some awesome stuff out there, and we really ought to bring that into the classroom. And as we take our lecture classes online, this is kind of a forcing function. For the first time, perhaps, we need to really look at taking material that's already out there and adding it to our lectures. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can connect and network with other professors. Let's do that down in the comments below and find who has what kind of material already available. We can also look online and check out what YouTube has. Yes, YouTube is a phenomenal resource. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and jump in and I'll show you 4 of my favorite sites for getting online material. The first and foremost is Crash Course. If you don't know about Crash Course or have not used it that much, I really invite you to come take a look at this. They have, I just clicked on the playlist thing, they have material on literature, mythology, statistics, world history of science. There we go. European history. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Odds are, whatever topic you teach, there's some good content here available for you. And I really do mean good content. Yeah, sure, it works at a high school level. That's fantastic. But my goodness, it's fantastic for colleges and universities as well. I come here quite frequently, not just for my students, but for myself. This is like a guilty pleasure of mine to come in and learn things. They're like little mini documentaries. It's fantastic. Another great site that you might consider is It's Okay to Be Smart. A lot of these, as you see, are PBS stations. It's Okay to Be Smart. I'm going to hit playlists again here. Once again, has all kinds of information. This one's mostly in the science realm, looking at biology and food sciences and animals and physics and so on and so forth. So this one focuses mostly in the sciences, whereas Crash Course is all over the map. A third one that I really like is Minute Physics. Now this one is strictly physics, but again, very fascinating, very interesting. The point is that no matter what you teach, odds are there's some really good material out there for you. Come check out and watch some of these videos. They're just a hoot. I mean, they are really good, thought-provoking, and so forth. And then, of course, heck, I have to plug my own channel. We have Nutshell Brainery here that's all about business. And if we look at, again, our playlists, we've got, Becoming a Better Manager and Leader, Foundations of Business Thought, Level Up Your Workplace Collaboration, human resources, become a better communicator, all kinds of stuff there. Hey, it's my video, I can plug myself, right? So once again, a lot of good material out there. Leverage what other people have done and use it in your classes. It's always a good call. Unless it's crappy material, then don't use it. All right, so there you go. Those are 3 really good viable options that are totally low-tech. Recording a PowerPoint presentation, doing an audio file, using existing materials. You don't need any technical training beyond how to use a mouse and a keyboard to pull this off. When we come back, though, we'll get into more standard tech and high tech. So stick with us. We're going to do this. We'll have a fantastic rest of the semester. Let's do it. All right, we'll talk to you later. Have a good day.